Okay, so hi, I'm Ryan, and there's a Clapton guitar, and off screen is the guitar I'm talking about today. So today's video is a mod I got done recently, and people might be interested in it, so I'll talk about it, and I'll feature 3 guitars in this video to demonstrate the points I'm talking about anyway. So, first guitar I'll feature is the one itself. So, this is what I call mod, and the reason I call it that, it's MOD. So it's for modifications like new neck, scallop, anything I want done on the guitar first. I'm trying it out on this because I got it for free. So all that's in it is modification money. So that's that. But as you can see, the bridge on it is non-standard, and by that, it's a PRS style bridge or hip shot, depending on what you want to call it. So, and by that, you can also see right here, which I'll screw off the back plate, show you. Basically, you can tell by the title of this video what this is about. And yeah, so recently I got a hardtail conversion done on a trem system on a Strat, and I'm going to go over the benefits of it and some of the downsides to it. Depending on your style of music, it will vary if you do need it, but me personally, I view that no one needs a trem, I should say, because how many people really use a trem? Like, yeah, dive bombs are all fun and good, and stuff like Floyd's with lock and trem system are good, but you don't really need a trem, because not many people would use a trem. Like, loads of people will block trems off, like stick a block of timber behind the trem system. I went one step further and got the whole cavity filled. So I'll leave that like that for a second and just show you what I mean. A trem cavity on the Strat, it's here. So you can see where it will screw on. The screws go into the body. You would solder it, and the bridge itself. And this is just a cheap Chinese trem. So, and there'll be more videos about this in the future if anyone's wondering. But this one, oh Jesus, is completely filled. So this was done at Lute here, and he did a great job. It's completely filled and completely solid. It was filled with similar wood to mahogany, so you can kind of see that kind of colour to it. And yeah, so if anyone's wondering how much this mod cost, it was 100. But what you got for that was the whole thing filled. It leveled off to the body. I asked them to put the back plate back on it just to keep it protected, because I didn't want to finish it. Put a colour paint, because I can't match the colour, so I didn't mind. He touched up the front of it, and it's close enough. I might throw a bit of Umbro Ferrari red paint on it, because it's close enough to the colour. Other than that, not really. And yeah, I asked him to do it this way. He would have just plugged it halfway, but I wanted the whole cavity closed because it would have more resonance in a sense. And yeah, it's not heavier at all, because you have to remember a block trem system, trem system like the cheap lighter ones will actually, it's denser than wood, so it would weigh about the same as a filled cavity. So in all, it's actually close enough to the same weight. Now, the main reason people are probably questioning, why did you get a trem filled? Main reason is tuning stability, because it's weird, because cheap trems are just shite. So I'm going to plug it into my Vox AV15, and it's not mic'd up or anything. So what you hear is, and I'm on the highest distortion setting. So and I'm using the ebony pick because I got it recently and I really like it. So that's what it just sounds like. It's the generic strat I always use for pedal demos and amp reviews. Just to go over about this guitar itself, it has a hip shot bridge style thing, and other than that, there's no modifications to the electronics. So hum, 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 no hum, hum. So it's just the stock pickups. But this actually, it resonates more and has a brighter tone to it for the wood, filling in the gap. It's a lot brighter, and I kind of like that because for my style of music specifically, I have to use a lot brighter sound. But going into it, the main reason I got this done is just tuning stability. So on the bridge humbucker, you get that. If I was to bend the G note and to hold the B string, so the bend up to that note on the G, the note doesn't detune. And I'm going to show you something now. But this is my Aria Diamond. This was meant to be my kind of project guitar for the summer, and never got around to it, but ah well. So it has P90s, and this isn't a sound to sound comparison. This is a demonstration of why I got it filled, in a sense. So on the bridge pickup, on the middle I should say, because that's just really buzzy. On the middle, if I did the same thing with bend the G string and hold the B string, so but if I demonstrate just bending the G but playing the G, just bend the G but playing the B, you can hear the note detuned, and that's because A, I have this set up for a floating trem, so there's not that much pressure on it, and B, cheap trem systems. That's all I can really say. So there's ways to counteract that. So one way is not to fill the trem system like I did on the other one, but to instead put springs, a lot of springs. So this is my green Strat. It's dual humbuckers, and I adore this guitar. I might get the trem filled on this, I'm not sure, but as you can see, I've got 5 springs in the back. So I'll just put this in, and I'm not getting a strap for it because I can't be bothered. When I bend a G string and play the B, it holds its tuning, which is great. In some cases, that doesn't work, so you will have to fill it or put a block of timber behind it. So that's my kind of review and demo of the trem. My thoughts on it is, if you have the money, this cost 100 quid from what I wanted to get done. So if it was just to get the trem filled, so back to this, it was just to get this part filled, it would be cheaper. But since I wanted the whole thing filled, it was more expensive. And that's also for getting the bridge mounted and the ferrules mounted in the back, because I wanted the whole thing to be done, and that's including the setup and everything, so it's good value for the money. That's what I paid, but your price may vary depending on who you go to. And yeah, I'll link down below to the luthier that did the work for me. So my thoughts on it is, I prefer hardtail guitars. Um, I prefer Strat shape guitars. I prefer Fender as a company in a sense. Okay, so them three things alone, I can't have. Fender or Squire, depending on what price point you're shopping at, don't make a hardtail other than a budget guitar, which is the Bullet series. I believe it's Bullet. It could be Affinity. I could be wrong. I'll put an annotation. I'll stick something up here. But and then it goes to the Jim Root guitar. It's out of my price range, and I'm not really. I'm a fan of his work and all, but it's not for the style of music I want, or the style of music I write. So it's not really the guitar for me. And then there's also the custom shop guitars, so like the half casters, which would use a Telecaster bridge, so stuff like that, or custom shop Fenders that you could order. Fender do a custom shop ordering thing, and I can't remember how you go through it through an authorized Fender dealer, I believe. But stuff like that, you're talking ridiculous money, upwards of $3,000 anyway, or two anyway, depending on where you're living. England it'd be around 2.5. Europe it'd probably be around 3 because of the exchange rate. And America would be cheaper because it's in America. You also have the option of making it yourself. But for what I wanted, which was a Strat with a hardtail filled, and I adore this guitar, the one I got filled, and it's out shot. This guitar, I adore the finish. I've always wanted the candy apple red guitar, with a flame maple neck, and if I was ever going to get a hardtail guitar, I was making sure I was going to be this one, this specs with the scalp and everything. So I thought instead of buying a guitar, just get this one modded. So that's what I got done. Would I recommend it? If you have the money, you don't use a trem, because I don't really think anyone uses a trem nowadays. Yeah, go for it. It's really worth the money, and you'd be surprised how many people didn't know this was possible. I didn't even know it was possible. I had to actually go to a guitar shop, the shop down the road, say to them, I wanted a Strat or a hardtail by Fender or Squire, and the owner told me my options, told me I could get it filled, and I got in touch with the repair guy, and he said, yeah, you could do that. So I'll just say that you can do this to any style of trem and all. You can also install an Evertune bridge. So if you're into, Evertunes are very expensive and do require additional routing, but yeah, they're worth it as well. I might install one on the guitar in the future. I'm not sure, depending. It could be the green one. I might never get one done. But yeah, Evertune are another option, and the way I'll get into them in another video if I ever get one installed on the guitar. So I've been Ryan for Ryan's Guitar Stuff at home, talking about the getting the trem filled, and see you in the next video. Bye.